game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell are you? Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Christmas is come and gone now, and we're on to the playoffs. It's playoff time, almost. We got a couple weeks left before then, though, and these are some playoff-type games for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, and we've been having playoff-type games. As there's a little ruffling going on in the background, so I'm going to mute you quick, J-Lo. These have been playoff type games the past 6 or 7 weeks or so, and here we are playing playoff type football and a 4-game heater. Could it turn into 5? Our man Neil is in the house. What it do? How you doing, Neil? Hope all is well this holiday season. Hope you had a blessed Christmas, brother. And before Neil could get to it, I might as well. Please hit the notification bell on, subscribe. You'll never miss an episode of that. Christopher Cole joins us as well. Evening, guys. Evening, Christopher. How's it going? We're going to see if J-Lo is here now. J-Lo, how you doing, brother? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hope yours is phenomenal. I know you went to the Bucs game Christmas Eve. You helped bring home a W. That's fantastic stuff, brother.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. It was awesome. I had a really good time. I took my oldest daughter. You know, big shout out to my aunt and uncle who gave me their tickets to go to the game. You know, that was really awesome. I got to experience an awesome victory, well-deserved. I mean, that was probably the best game I've seen them play.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game. It looked like and felt like the Bucs were in control all game of that one. And during this 4-game winning streak, that's the best part to me, is not only that we're winning, as my man Fabricio joined us live on Facebook. Hope you're doing well, Fabricio. Merry Christmas to you. But that's what's awesome about this 4-game win streak, J-Lo. Not only are the Bucs winning, but every game we seem to do it a little bit better against a better opponent every week as well. It started with a squirt me out win over Carolina, where we barely had to eke that one out. A comeback win against Atlanta, then a pretty good decisive win over Atlanta, or over Green Bay. I'm sorry, then just a full-on throttle against the Jaguars.
No, I mean, like I said, this team's coming together at the right time. You know, they're red hot right now. That was probably the most comfortable game I've ever seen going to a Bucs game. Like, they just pure dominate. There was, no, worries at all. And the Jaguar fans heard me, too. I was pretty loud, bro. I was calling out Mr. Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. It looked like he didn't belong in the game. He should have just stayed on the bench.
Yeah, he looked a little off out there, and we'll talk about him briefly. And we'll just talk about this game here quickly while it is a task at hand. The Bucs did dominate. Trevor Lawrence did look a little bit banged up, but that makes 4 wins in a row. Dominant win. Rachaad White didn't run the greatest, but other than that, the passing game was fantastic. The defense played great, and I'm not even going to hold it against Rachaad because teams are starting to build that box around him, and, it's paying dividends for Baker in the passing game as more guys seem to get open. And I'll tell you what, J-Lo, Payne Durham's coming on strong. He's made some great catches the past several weeks or so, dating back to the Indianapolis game, but not only was the win great to see, every week so far this year, we see this 2023 Bucs draft class pay more and more dividends, including the UDFAs. And it's a beautiful thing to see, as Christopher Cole says. How about that blitz pickup by Rachaad? Man, that's great.
Oh, that's right, he did.
And that's why Rachaad White is so effective, because he could catch the ball, he could pass block really good, and when he finds a hole, he hits it so damn hard. And that's why, to me, he's the running back 1 on this team for the foreseeable future. But J-Lo, about our draft class, Payne Durham catch. Every week there's like a new rookie that's getting featured. Yaya Diaby's getting love. A couple weeks ago it was Cansey. Before that it was Cody Mauch. We just keep getting better and more notorious rookie play week in and week out.
No, Jason Light definitely hit a home run in the draft with the players he chose. I mean, if you think about it, JTS, probably the best pick in the world, but he ended up getting Yaya and said, F it, I'm going to bring another guy in. And he got a hidden gem in Yaya Diaby. I mean, he's being talked about all over the NFL now, which is good. He's getting his flowers. And then Kalijah Cansey, he's doing his thing, getting in there, get to the quarterback. I mean, this team is coming in hot, and if they keep it up and go 10-7, whoever's coming to Ray J better watch out, because we are red hot.
Yeah, and the only thing I will disagree on is I don't think that JTS pick was a miss by any means, and I think that for a couple reasons. A, when he asks what he's told to do, which is his strong suit, rush the passer, he's probably the best or second best pass rusher on our team when he's strictly just rushing the passer. He's probably only behind either Yaya Diaby or Vita Vea at this point in time, but Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is right up there, and he actually has the best pass rush rate on the Bucs defense. That means, when he's rushing the passer, he wins the most pass rush attacks among this Bucs football team. So I will disagree with you there, and I'll say this. Has he been great? No, but you look who was drafted behind him in that draft in terms of defensive end and edge, and oof, it is absolutely nobody. Azeez Ojulari by the Giants. Does that even ring a bell? A good one on the Colts, but I'd say he's similar to JTS as Deo Odeyangbo. And then you got Carlos Basham Jr. on the Bills. You look at all these DNs and Joseph Asai on the Bengals. Not a lot of star power there, J-Lo. So, could we have gotten more production there? Sure, but you look at the guys behind him, Malcolm Kuntz at that position, there's just really no one that stands out and goes, you know what? The Bucs missed that pick because they could have gotten that guy in the draft instead. I mean, Patrick Jones, Ronnie Perkins, I'm going through these names and it's a lot of head scratching, hemming and hawing, and it's like, who are these guys outside of JTS and Dio Odeyangbo on the Colts? There's really not a lot of names in the entirety of the draft for the edge or DN. So I get where you're coming from, but I'll say this. No one's really better behind JTS than he is. And when he's asked what he does to do, which the Bucs are getting better at to me, he's actually pretty successful at what he does.
Well, it's going to be interesting because Shaquille Barrett, that groin, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to go this Sunday. So you're looking at Yaya Diaby and you got JTS on the other side. So to me, that'll be interesting. It'll be the ultimate opportunity for JTS, to keep doing what he's trying to do and get in there and make plays. And I will admit, against the run, he's actually really good. I can't really discontinue him. I'm not saying he's a bust. I didn't mean to say.
I know what you mean, though. We could have got a little more off the bone.
Yes, but however, I mean, I'll take him. I mean, we got a group of young, pass rushers right now that I think are stepping up to the plate. That's the way I look at it. The team looked overall great in the trenches the last couple of games, which are playoff contending teams, because Green Bay is still legitimately in it if they went out and had some help. But here's the beauty part, Tone. It's the beauty part about this. Because we've been on this hot win streak, we're just hyped up right now, and this is where we need to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it on the gas pedal. Even if we beat the Saints, I think the starters should still play against the Panthers.
Especially after last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, you want to keep these boys hyped up. I mean, I want them to put the fear in God in where we play in the wild card, whether it's Dallas, Philly, or whoever. I mean, at the end of the day, this team's looking for real. I mean, this team looked like a playoff contending team this past Sunday. Like, I couldn't be more confident right now in the NFC than anybody.
And
You
not
know,
only, real quick, J-Lo, to add into what you're pouring here, not only are we playoff contenders, not only are we playing great football, we're the 8th youngest team in the NFL, the 8th youngest team in the National Football League. We're top 4th, top 25% of youth. We rank 25.6 years of age. And that attests to the rookie class, the UDFA's, Jason Light having his hands tied, having to settle for a lot of young guys and going above and beyond to ensure that this team is able to compete. On the other hand, J-Lo, real quick, the Saints are the oldest average team in the NFL, 27.4 years old. So there's a tale of two off seasons, right? We're excited, we're competing. Me and you never counted this team out. We said, hey, we were limited this offseason. Were we unhappy with certain people or coaches at times? Sure. But me and you both understood how limited this Bucs team was coming in financially and how bad the NFC South was and how if we string some wins together, we could compete. And that's what we've done. And not only done that, J-Lo, but we've built one of the youngest rosters in the NFL. While the Saints went the other path, they keep trying to win now, win now, win now, kick the can down the road. That's resulted in absolutely nothing for them. No Super Bowls, barely any playoff wins, hell, barely any division titles, and now they have the oldest roster in the NFL.
I couldn't agree more. And plus, I mean, Jason Light, let's get him in credit. I think he is Executive of the Year candidate because he has done so many great things in this offseason. And to get Baker Mayfield $4 million with incentives, and he's been the best quarterback not only in the division, but probably top guy in the NFC. I mean, if you look at the numbers, compared to Patrick Mahomes, some of these other stud quarterbacks, he's been living it up, playing his best game. And plus, the players love him. They love playing with him. They are gathering behind him. Tristan's been hyping him up. Him and Mike got a great, combination right now, connection. There's no way Mike's going anywhere. I'm a full believer Mike will be a Buck after this season for life.
Yeah, we got to pay him, and I think this season proves that. And at first, not going to lie, I mean, I wanted to pay him good, but I didn't want to pay him like 27, 28, 29 million a year just because of all the holes on the roster, right? But I'm not saying I want to settle for that now. But if Mike Greenberg and Jason Light could play a little bit of cap gymnastics, say they have to settle for that number, but the cap hit isn't as big, maybe that's something we could consider. But at the same time, they've done a great job managing the cap. So I'm confident that they'll be able to retain Evans, keep him around, like you say, J-Lo, and make it work in terms of a realistic type contract for the guy. I'd love to see a 20 to 25 mil base in that range with a crap ton of incentives built in, right? So he really hit that 27, 28, 29, but earn it, and he always earns it. So he should have no problem agreeing to something like that. I'm saying, hey, you get 1,000 yards, boom. You make it to the playoffs, boom. You make it to the Pro Bowl, boom. All Pro, boom. Build all that in, J-Lo, and you're not only going to get Mike Evans back in Tampa, but you're going to get a motivated Mike Evans every year pretty much like we've seen this year. Not saying he was ever unmotivated before, but you can tell whatever the hell happened, he has a little bit of extra pep in that step. And I mean, he might be having his best year ever for this Bucs team if you put all the circumstances together. First year offensive coordinator, new quarterback in town. By the way, we're going to get into Baker's contract, but when we talk about what other backup around the league make compared, not starting quarterbacks, backups make around the league compared to Baker, it's going to wow some people. But given all the circumstances, Mike Evans having the year he has had, oh man, J-Lo, we are surely going to have to put him as priority number 2 right behind Antoine Winfield Jr.
Agreed. Tristan Wirfs, the good thing is he is going to have to play in a 5th-year option, but I think Jason Light and the guys not only will extend Tristan Wirfs, they'll be able to extend Chris Godwin. If you extend Chris Godwin's contract, you can open more cap space, truthfully, and I feel like they really want to be here. And another thing is Baker Mayfield will be back next year. They'll figure it out. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, Mike Evans is not leaving this team. He may go out and explore, see what kind of market he has, let him go explore like we did the other players. Then he'll come back and tell Jason Light, look, these are my offers. What can you do to, come close to it? And another thing is, this is a tax-free state. So if you think about it, if somebody offer him like 26, 27 million, guess what? We could offer him 24 to 25, and that's the way of matching it, which people are failing to realize. But at the end of the day, that will come later on when we get to the contract thing. In the meantime, this team is coming together at the right time, and they are full believer in Todd Bowles. Even though some of us have said some horrible things, which I'll take, lashing to that because I have said some negative things. But
our own Bucko and Stunna were ruling us out pretty much. Some of our own co-hosts.
Yeah, they have. I mean, it's a Bucs life, man. Some fans are gonna jump ship, and some fans are gonna step behind what we have. There were some doubts here and there out of me, but I never wanted Todd Bowles to fail. I just want him to get better. Make the right decisions, which I think is finally coming together. Even David White, of all people, being injured on the bench, and he went off on Sunday. He made some plays. Now, does it excuse him? What happened this year? No. All I know is if this man wants to get paid, he needs to go all in. Whether he stays here or not, I still feel he's gone no matter what happens.
I do agree, though. We have to tip our cap. He played a hell of a game. And you were live at that game. I'm sure he had the stadium rocking and rolling like he did us fans at home. And real quick, we have 4 comments to get to. What up, fam? Always was on the Baker train. There are so many receipts to collect on Bucs fans. I never took it down. I had a tweet about week 3 or 4 of the season, X, post, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I compared Baker's very short tenure in Tampa to Brady's, and not in terms of success, not in terms of generational talent, but in terms of the team and the city and how they gravitate to each of the quarterbacks. And I said, don't get me wrong, Brady was great. Baker will never provide what Brady could here, but at the end of the day, this team, the city, is kind of gravitating more towards the Baker life because of all of these things. And my tweet even made it to the WDAE airwaves, got a lot of bookmarks. And I'll say about a month back, a lot of people were starting to try and circle back to that tweet, trying to call me out for that tweet. And that tweet reads as this: Tom Brady is the man, no doubt, always will be a hero here and forever entrench himself in one of the most successful 3-year runs, if not the most successful 3-year run in franchise history, easily the GOAT of the NFL and the best to ever do it under center for the Bucs, no questions asked. One of my favorite Bucs ever. But Baker Mayfield is that dude. Super cool seeing him attending Lightning playoff games last spring and now Rays playoffs games this fall. Awesome hearing stories about him taking the Bucs offensive line to the Bahamas or out golfing. Cool that him, Evans, Godwin, and the other wide receivers go out to dive bars around town, relate with the locals. He's already been on Tampa radio a handful of times, and he's always upbeat with the media, which can seem vicious at times. We know that. Multiple charity events with Mrs. Mayfield already as well. Life after Tom is smooth sailing. Not saying forget the GOAT by any means, but beyond the gridiron, enjoy what Baker is bringing to the Bay. GOATs move how they move. That's how they're successful. Love the life that Tom lived. It's a different type of lifestyle, though, with Baker, and in many ways refreshing. The Bay and Baker are bringing out the best in each other. Just a cool-ass dude. I tweeted that on October 5th. I never took it down. It's been pinned since, and let me tell you, a lot of people loved it at first. A lot of people turned on me then, J-Lo, but, I mean, there's not many holes in that tweet, are there?
No, there's not. I mean, Baker has played the best football in a long time. I mean, even better than his 2020 season, I feel like. I mean, he's getting more confident throwing the ball to the playmakers in Mike and Chris. And then even K-Dot and Payne Durham, they're all stepping up. Rashad White's getting confident running the football. Even the line. I mean, the line has done a pretty decent job, protecting him for the most part, giving him time to make a play. At the end of the day, Baker, I feel like he's earned his stripes. He belongs in Tampa. I think he's found a new home for at least the next 3 years. I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy, and some people count him out. They want to go to Trask. Even I mentioned, if he keeps up, how he's playing in certain games, those games where he didn't look so hot, but everybody's gonna have a bad game. Then it's time to see what you got in Trask. But now, Baker shut the doubters. He shut them up. To me, he's performed the last 3 games. Even in Atlanta, when he had to come in and make big plays to help us drive to win the game, he did what he did. And like you said, that tweet stands out, and all the haters, if you want to go out there and say it, and if you know you're wrong, apologize, admit you're wrong. We're not perfect. We're all gonna make our comments.
Even in the games we lost to the behemoths like the 49ers and the Bills, J-Lo, Baker made some plays where he tried to help us win those games. I mean, nothing against some of these guys, but K. Dotton and Devin Tompkins dropped touchdowns against the Niners. And then against the Bills, we had that bad luck Hail Mary to end the game. Couple other plays along the way. Against the Falcons, even though we lost the first time and he threw an interception in the red zone, he bounced back, had that 60-yard run, put us into field goal position to tie the game. Baker stepped up time and time again. As Christopher Cole says, JTF draft class wasn't that good at DN. And yeah, we did talk about that as well, Chris. You go beyond JTS. Him and the Colts DN, Dio Demangbo, are easily the 2 best. And it's crazy, right? It's crazy, but that helps the JTS pick not be as bad as it was either. And you best bet he's going to be an essential part. As J-Lo said, we have a nice little young front 7 pass rush group. JTS is going to be a part of that, at least for the next year and a half, if not more so. So I'm excited at what we built up front, J-Lo, over the past 3 years. Christopher Cole. Heck, some college QBs are making more than Baker. Yes, that's what I wanted to bring up. Thanks for reminding me, Christopher. I had another pretty good tweet today because everyone was saying, oh, Jarrett Stidham, he's starting now. Not everyone realizes, J-Lo, Jarrett Stidham makes $5 million guaranteed this season. Baker Mayfield's guaranteed number, $4 million. The Bucs have paid Baker Mayfield $1 million less than Jarrett Stidham this year. There's a lot wrong with that. But before I let you get your thoughts, I'm going to say a couple things. Stidham hasn't played a down. Hasn't played a snap. And if he has, it's been garbage time, injury time, kneel down time. Stidham hasn't played a snap of importance. Stidham's barely had a career. The dude had 1 okay game last season. And it got him into $5 million from 1 okay performance at quarterback. Baker Mayfield has had a couple impressive seasons, has a playoff win under his resume, has a 3-night win under his resume when he had to start on Thursday Night Football last year. And you're telling me Jarrett frickin' Stidham makes more than him. You're telling me Jacoby Brissett makes more than him. You're telling me Case Keenum, Andy Dalton, Taylor Heineke, Derek Carr makes 10 times the money he does. Not only more than him, 10 times more than him. Danny Dimes. You could go through the list through thick and thin. I'm sure Mariota makes similar money. Gardner Minshew makes similar money. It's puzzling, J-Lo. I mean, I was never a huge Baker guy before he got to Tampa, but when I found out $4 million guaranteed, I warmed up immediately. I was like, $4 million for a guy? All right, not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Because you got Jarrett Stidham, the 1-game wonder in his whole career, making more money than Baker Mayfield. You have Arch Manning, who played, 3.5 snaps at Texas this year in college? He's making more than Baker Mayfield. It's really nasty to see, how some of these dimwit backups get paid in the NFL like a Chase Daniel did his whole career and just eat money while not being productive ever. And I guess Jared Stidham's going down the Matt Flynn route. You know what? Good for you. Get your money, but you don't deserve it. And you know who did? Baker Mayfield. You know who else doesn't deserve it? Is Christopher Cole mentioned. All these college quarterbacks that are making more than Baker Mayfield. It's a little weird, J-Lo. The state of the quarterback position and how much they make are weird, and we really got a bargain bin. As Pops on Twitter chimes in too, kudos to Light for the job he's done. Whether it's been Baker, whether it's been undrafted free agents, or whether it's been the guys like Greg Gaines and Ryan Neal who are coming on week by week, Light's done a hell of a job. And not only Light, Todd Bowles, but those two have done a hell of a job playing chess while others are playing checkers with their hands tied behind the back.
No, agreed. I mean, it's a steal. And that also tells you that I know Baker will take less money just to keep other players around him that he's building chemistry with. That's one thing I love about Baker. You know, like Brady took less money to bring in extra talent, and I think Baker Mayfield would do the same. I mean, of course, he won't take $4 million, but like I said, to me, 25, maybe $30 million a year. I think he's worth that pay. A lot cheaper than Danny Sorry Dimes, whose booty is hell to me. You know, and the Giants fans are going to have to deal with his sorry ass for two more seasons. I mean, it could be a lot worse. Look at the Saints. The Saints are one of the most broke teams in the NFL, always trying to win now mode. And now you're stuck with Derek Carr for another fucking year, and he's not that good. He's not. And I'll be the one to say when Brady first retired, I did want him here. I thought, you know, maybe a new scene. But now, Thank goodness Light played the smart card and went after Baker because he is a driver, he's a dog, and he's a winner. I mean, the guy wants to win. Will he win a Super Bowl for us? You never know. Because the NFC's fucking not what it is. Like, you could say the Niners are top dogs. Okay, look what happened. They got exposed. You build a lead on them, and Brock Purdy is a nobody. I don't care what anybody says. MVP my ass. And then the Eagles, I mean, they're looking very dysfunctional. I mean, Jalen Hurts is having a problem with teammates saying they're not on the same page. Kind of what Baker did a few weeks ago, and look what happened. Boom. They clicked on. And then let me say this one for last. Dallas Cowboys. Joke. Absolutely joke. And let them come back here thinking they're going to run the tables. But I got news for you. If we stay red hot, we're going to knock y'all out of the motherfucking playoffs. I don't care what anybody says. Baker Mayfield's playing on a level because he wants to win. That's what I like about him. He thrives on winning, hypes the boys up, and most of all, he loves the offensive line. Mm-hmm. He always goes up to them, gives them props, hypes them up, and that's what I like in a leader, and that's why I feel like it was just a perfect marriage for, the Bucs and Baker to come together and try to keep the winning culture going.
And that's partly why Baker came here too, J-Lo, for all the points you said. He knows he could win here. He sees a guy like Mike Evans, a guy like Chris Godwin, before the year, Russell Gage, a young tight end room, which is showing flashes between Ott and Keith, Payne Durham now. And then you see a guy like Rachaad White who could make splash plays. You see a guy like Dave Canales with the potential. Baker knew the situation he was entering was a good one for him. And, a lot of people say, how do you know Canales is going to be a good one? Well, Baker's seen the Canales reclamation project with Geno Smith and thought, why not me? And you know what else? He's seen the fall off of Russell Wilson, which shows that Canales also had a big deal on how Russ played. So Baker bet on his smarts and said, hey, look at what Canales did with a guy like Geno Smith. And look at what Canales did with a guy like Russell Wilson. Why can't he do it with me? Sure enough, so far he has, J-Lo. Long story short, Bucs are 8-7. No one ever thought we'd be 8-7. And, we're on the verge of a potential division title, which we'll get into here shortly. But speaking of shortly, 12 days of Bucsmas are giveaways. We're going to have another one tonight on X. Tomorrow, the winners will be announced. So we'll have 6 winners from the X tweets themselves. And then we're going to have 6 questions or giveaways live on air as well at the same time. And we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow night here for the 12 days of Bucsmas giveaway winners announced. Can't wait for that. We gave away and we will give away a lot of good stuff between tonight's giveaway and tomorrow's as well. But be on the lookout. The conclusion of 12 Days of Bucsmas does end tomorrow night. It's been exciting so far. A lot of nice stuff given away. Holiday T-shirts, flags, mini helmets. You bet, you name it. Old season ticket holder memorabilia from the 2002 Super Bowl season. Rookie cards, autograph cards. A lot of good stuff, J-Lo. So it's been a real fun 12 Days of Bucsmas. And we'll probably be back with another giveaway for, around the draft time. Maybe we'll do another type long extended giveaway. But so far, that's where we're at with the 12 Days of Bucsmas. And it's been an incredible run so far. And speaking of run, J-Lo, real quick, how was your Christmas, brother? Everything go good? You get any Bucs gear? You get any Bucs merch? Or just how was your day in general?
No, I mean, it was a good Christmas. I had the kiddos. We were able to open up presents, watch football. Just nothing too big. Had to cook on the grill. When Christmas Eve with watching the Bucs win, that was my Christmas present, watching them win live.
Mm-hmm.
And then, everything went the way I was hoping it would.
So that's a buck. That's all you need right there. You get that as a gift. You don't need anything.
No, I agree. To me, it's all about, celebrating with your loved ones, being with them. Yeah, gifts are nice, don't get me wrong. But to me, when you have your family together with your loved ones you're close to, and you reach out to other family members you can't really see as much. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, you get to spend family time, and that's what the holidays are about through the new year. So keep enjoying those times, brother, and keep on moving on. And all you listeners out there, keep enjoying the holiday season with your family as well, as the Bucs will continue to enjoy their holiday seasons as they're trying to build on a 4-game win streak, make it into 5 against the Saints here, J-Lo. Rivalry week. First time around we played the Saints this year was one of the Bucs' best performances of the year. They got the best of the Saints, and they really upended New Orleans in their hometown, which has been a rarity for Bucs of late, winning in New Orleans. But we did it pretty easily this year so far. Do you think that's a sign of things to come? Do you think when the Saints come to town this week, we can expect a 26-9 type of performance we've seen to begin the season? I mean, you look back at that game, Baker played really good, 25 of 32, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns. Our running game wasn't all too there yet, but we still had over 100 yards on the ground between Rachaad White, Keyshawn Vaughn, Devin Tompkins, and Bake. Godwin went for over 100 yards. Do you see the same type of success this week against the Saints as we did in the first time we played them?
Absolutely. I feel that this team is confident enough. They know what they want. And the Saints fans, they're already turning on their team and they're begging us to beat the crap out of them and knock them out of the playoffs for the most part. I mean, this Saints team is just very depleted. I mean, they're just not the same team they once were when they were bullying us over the years. And I see big things out of this team. I won't say we blow them out. I think the Saints will give us a close game for sure. But I think we'll definitely come out with the win. They're just so beat up. I mean, Michael Thomas hasn't been the same. He won't be playing. Even Lattimore's not going to play, who's been a thorn in Mike Evans behind. So, I mean, I don't fear them at all. The line's not that good. Derek Carr's beat up as well. I think we're going to put him on the bench, and we'll see Jameis in the game later on, probably third quarter, because Carr, between concussion, shoulder injury, he just can't, stay healthy. He gets hurt. He's very beatable. And Chris Olave, last time we played him, we shut him down. We held him to one catch. One catch.
Numbers don't lie, and Olave's had a good year outside of us. He's over 1,000 yards, I believe. So that testament to holding a guy like him to one catch has been pretty incredible. Speaking of incredible, J-Lo, Bucs injury report isn't that long, which is always great to see and an incredible thing this time of year when we're, week 17? Used to be week 16, but now week 17, second to last week of the year. Gonna run through that quick, J-Lo. Any of this concern you? Shaq Barrett did not participate with the groin. Carlton Davis did not participate with the concussion. and Keith did not participate with a shoulder. Other than that, no one else has made the injury report in terms of being limited in practice. Mike Green and Raheem Jarrett were both full participants today. They're both on IR, so we could be getting both of those guys back. So actually, between Green and Jarrett, we could have reinforcements on the way this week, J-Lo.
No, agreed. I think Mike Green will be a key one to come back, help with the rotation on the pass rush. I don't expect Shaq Barrett to play with the groin injury for his age and all that. I mean, if he shows up, I mean, good, but not rest, brother. Rest, get healthy for the playoffs, and then plus Carlton Davis. I mean, it was a bad concussion. I don't expect him to play either. When that hit he laid on.
Look at CJ Stroud, right? He missed 2 weeks now and counting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't expect him to play at all, which is fine by me. CJ McCollum has stepped in and played pretty well, and between him and Dean's absence, I'm very confident in the youngster. I feel like he'll play his best ball. And Carlton and Shad, just heal up, brother. Heal up. I mean,
and as much as I want everybody back as well, and don't get me wrong, I think Raheem Jarrett would still be nice for depth, but I think he might have lost his spot to David Moore, at least for now. David Moore, he's been on the roster for 3 games now, and he has 4 receptions for about 99, 100 yards in those games, including a long touchdown, and it doesn't seem like much, but we've been lacking a third wide receiver and veteran presence after Godwin and Evans. You have the Devin Tompkins, the Raheem Jarrett's of the world, a lot of young guns out there, J-Lo, Ryan Miller, etc.
Trey Palmer.
Trey Palmer, exactly. Kind of needed that veteran presence to shore up the depth a little bit. And to me, David Moore's done a nice job of that. Not saying Raheem Jarrett's going to lose his spot, but I think David Moore should be on the active roster from here on out, and I'm not sure which young gun it's going to cost their active game status and game day, but I don't see the Bucs kicking David Moore onto the practice squad or to the inactives list. I just don't.
I think David Moore earned his spot is either a number 3 or at least a roster spot. Because Trey Palmer, he came up with some clutch plays a couple times in last game. And Raheem Jarrett, I think they'll give him another week of practice, let him kind of slowly work his way back in there. I expect to see him in the Carolina game, if anything. As far as David Moore, I think he's earned his spot. He knows the system. And plus, he's got the little dance moves down when he scores. I mean, he even got Mike Evans dancing last game when he scored his first touchdown. I mean, that's the kind of guy I want in there. I want a guy in there, a veteran who knows the system and has confidence. And he's actually pretty shifty when he gets open and takes the ball up the field. So I say you stick with him and Trey Palmer. Tompkins, I feel like, is just a special team guy, punt return, kick returner. He shows some flashes on reverses, but he's just not a deep threat to me. And Raheem Jarrett, he's a rookie. He's got a lot to learn, and I feel like he can. But there's no need to rush the man back on the field. Now, Mike Green, put him in there. I think he's ready. He did pretty well, as a rotational guy compared to Greg Gaines, who's been kind of quiet. Haven't really seen much of him. I see him on the field, but I haven't really seen him, make any splash plays for the most part.
Yeah, as Bucs Rays Bolts joins us. Welcome back, brother. Been a while. Hope all is well. Says hi, everyone. Should be a great battle this weekend. The Saints, it's a must-win for them because if the Bucs win, they clinch the division. And J-Lo, Bucs only need to win one of their last 2 games to clinch the division. And really, the playoffs are looking great. But I want to end the season on a high note. I want to beat the Saints. I don't care how we do it. Just beat them. Then I want to play our starters against Carolina and look effective. I don't want to limp into the playoffs, back into the playoffs, none of that. Go out there and continue to click on all cylinders. We're going to do our score predictions and player of the game predictions in tomorrow's show because we will be back tomorrow, time to be announced. So keep up with us on Twitter at Buccaneers to find out the time. We'll go live tomorrow with our 12 Days of Bucsmas giveaway winners or score predictions and so much more. But one last thing on this weekend's game, J-Lo, before we get to a little bit of college action tonight, one big thing in walk-offs and final words, I'm interested to see, how the battle-tested back up against the wall Saints do against a team that's there for the taking of the division with the Bucs. Who's going to outcoach? Dennis Allen's coaching for his job. Todd Bowles is just in a similar spot a few weeks ago. We've seen the adjustments he's made. Will Dennis Allen make any sort of adjustments, or will Todd Bowles continue his hot-handed streak? Because I do think Bowles has been coaching better. He doesn't say so. He's saying, we have the same coaching mentality we did. And I'm not saying he ever coached bad, but J-Lo, you can just see it. Past couple of weeks, he's growing more aggressive. He's putting more faith into his offense and defensive coordinators, Casey Rogers, Larry Foote, and Dave Canales, and even Keith Armstrong, the special teams one. And at the end of the day, he's going for points more, whether it's field goals or just trying to get into field position, rather than either punting or, just kind of flailing away later in games. But I'm excited to see this weekend, not only the game is I'll be on the cruise in the middle of the ocean. So hopefully I can, get the game just fine. I plan on doing that. I will have internet. But J-Lo, at the end of the day, it'll be an interesting coach's battle because Dennis Allen, he's in a similar spot with not only Saints fans, but the NFL media that Todd Bowles was just in late November?
No, I agree. Dennis Allen, he's a great defensive coach. I won't take that away from him.
Always been a bad head coach.
Just not a head coach material, unfortunately. Not that I'm saying Todd Bowles is, but now Bowles has got this team together and the players want to play for him. To me, it seems that the New Orleans players don't want to play hard for Dennis Allen. I feel like they just lost confidence to where now the fans want him out of the building, and I just don't see this team building any blocks getting any better. And even if, there's just so much obstacles they got to get to just to get to the playoffs. Like, yeah, if they beat us, they still got to hope we lose to Carolina. They have a chance to get in. They still got to beat Atlanta. I mean, I just don't see them getting over that obstacle. I feel like this team has left the building. I think they need new leadership, some new players. They're going to be stuck with Derek Carr for another year, unfortunately.
And their oldest roster is going to keep aging. And J-Lo, it's interesting. If you take a look back at Dennis Allen, he never had success in Oakland nor New Orleans, really. If you look back at Todd Bowles, it hasn't been great for the longest of time, but he's been the head coach at 3 teams now. All have been at least successful at some point under him. And people say 3. Yes, he was the interim head coach in Miami in 2011. He was the interim head coach. He went 2-1 there as the interim head coach. Pretty good for a guy just filling in, settling in, right? Then in 2015, his first real year as head coach with the Jets, he went 10-6. Next 2 years, I'll admit, pretty damn ugly. I don't care if Fitzpatrick was his QB. Guess what? He was in 2015 as well when they had a really good year. So, he goes a combined 10-22. I don't hold 2018 against him. Sam Darnold, the rookie version, was his QB that year. That's ugly within itself. And their defense was still pretty good that year. Last year had a division title. This year in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. Again, not the greatest at coaching resumes. He's well under 500 still and has a long way to go. But he has had a short slice of success, whether it's Miami, where he was an interim coach, New York, his first job, or now this one. Whereas a guy like Dennis Allen, to me, J-Lo, he's done, after this year, he's all but done as a head coach in the NFL, unless a miraculous turnaround happens, they get into the playoffs, and they don't get wiped out.
I just don't see it happening. I'm just not confident. I mean, anyway, I don't care. Fuck the Saints.
Something's wrong with Derek Carr as well, right? He just, I don't know if he's or I don't know if he's over the hill. I don't know if he's overstayed his welcome, or I don't know if the Saints are broken. But to me, something's wrong with that dude because his, he
just doesn't look as good as he did over in Vegas/Oakland during his career. I mean, at the end of the day, he's had some good games, but most times in crunch time, he hasn't played so well. I mean, he finally played his first playoff game like 2 years ago in 21 for Vegas, and, nothing surprised me. He didn't look that good. At the end of the day, I just feel like Derek Carr is going to become a journeyman, maybe backup. Maybe might have one more opportunity for another team that needs a
Maybe he'll
quarterback.
become his brother, right?
Oh my God! Don't get me started with him, man. He's a jackass.
He sure is. Speaking of jackass, if you're a jackass like me, you love college bowl season, you can't get enough of it, and you want to soak it all in. Just kidding on the jackass part. But if you're a sports aficionado like myself, you love bowl season, you love soaking it all in. J-Lo, bowl season starts early December 16th to be exact. But now we're really getting into the midst of it. We're really getting into the middle of it. You got 4 bowl games today, 4 bowl games tomorrow, 4 bowl games Friday, 4 on Saturday, 5 on Monday, then the championship. So we're really getting into the strength of the bowl season here. Any games stick out to you on tonight's bowl schedule? Right now, we got the Duke's Mayo Bowl featuring North Carolina and West Virginia. That thing is 14-10, nearing the half. West Virginia's on top there. They're on the North Carolina 36-yard line. Number 15 in the country, Louisville, takes on USC in the DirecTV Holiday Bowl. That's going to be a really fun one, even though Caleb Williams is out. You never know what could happen there. That's 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox. And then, to me, the game of the night, a really fun one, another fun one, is the Tax Act Texas Bowl. You got Texas A&M taking on number 20 in the country, Oklahoma State. That game's 9 o'clock Eastern time. Oklahoma State's a 3.5-point favorite. Any of these 3 games catch your eye out of the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the DirecTV Holiday Bowl, or the Tax Act Texas Bowl? Which one are you rolling with tonight?
I gotta go with the Louisville USC matchup in that bowl game. Because Louisville still got most of their players still playing from the season. USC's not gonna have Caleb Williams, but I'm interested to see how Lincoln Riley does with the Nets quarterback, and see how great of a coach he really is as they compare him to. As far as A&M and Oklahoma State, I mean, I feel like Oklahoma State should take advantage of them not having a role vacant coach at the moment until the season's over, where the new coach takes over. And A&M lost a lot of great players, like transfer portal. I just don't see them really standing a chance against Oklahoma State, who still has most of their players for the most part. And then Duke and West Virginia, doesn't surprise me. Like I said, Duke's another one. Lost their quarterback.
Yeah, Drake May's holding out. Their top receivers holding out. And you want to know what's the funniest story with their top receiver, drawing a blank on his name here, J-Lo. But before the year he transferred there, and they wanted him to sit out a year because, there's all the, even with NIL, there's all those transfer rules. Well, the governor of North Carolina got involved, saying he must play. They fought tooth and nail for the kid to play. They got him to play, and now he's sitting out the bowl game. So, you fight for the kid to come. And yeah, he had a great year as he's projected to be a 1st or 2nd round pick. But at the end of the day, it's a beast of college football and the NIL now as he's sitting out today. I'm going to go with the game tonight as the game I look forward to most. Although I'm going to rephrase that. West Virginia, North Carolina, I'm looking forward to most, the Duke's Mayo Bowl, because I think West Virginia's had a really fun year. They were supposed to be terrible this year. They're without their best offensive lineman, Zach Frazier. Nephew of our guest host a couple weeks back, the Man Cave Man, Zach Johnson. That's actually his nephew, Zach Frazier, offensive lineman on West Virginia. He's had an incredible year, and he's not holding out because of bowl eligibility. He actually has a legit injury. So West Virginia's had a cool story this year, and North Carolina's coach Mac Brown is kind of the legend. So that's why I have my eyes on that one. But the player I'm looking forward to watching most. And to me, he's not only the best running back, but my favorite running back to watch in all the land of college football is Mr. Ollie Gordon of Oklahoma State. This kid is a monster. He's a menace. He is a beast. And I'll tell you all right now, if you could get his over in rushing yards, go ahead and do that, because it's already on the up and up. Earlier, when I bet him over 99.5 total yards, his odds were minus 137. Now that thing propelled all the way up to minus 155. The money's coming in on Ollie Gordon to have a big game tonight. I think he's going to have a big game tonight, J-Lo. But missed a bowl season. Hey, we'll have 4 more bowl games to catch up on tomorrow. Can't wait for that, brother, as we do have a show tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Same place, maybe same time. We'll announce it on our X, so be on the lookout for that, as J-Lo and Tampa Tones here are going to be back with you guys tomorrow, going over 12 days of Bucsmas winners, Bucs Saints score predictions, player of the game predictions, and the bowl slate tomorrow, J-Lo. It's going to be fantastic, and looking forward to that one. It's always a fun time with you, brother, and speaking of time, it's time for one big thing we look forward to for Sunday's game as we walk this thing off. What are you looking out for this Sunday when it's toe meets leather, 1 o'clock Eastern time on Fox? And by the way, the Bucs get the announced crew of the week: Greg Olson, Kevin Burkhardt, Aaron Andrews. We get it. J-Lo, we're front and center this week, 1 o'clock Eastern on Fox. What's your one big thing you're looking out for?
I'm just looking out for the offense to keep on the gas pedal like they've been doing the last 2 weeks. Just keeping up, not turning the ball over, not going 3 and out. Keep getting the ball to your playmakers and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. And then K-Dot and Payne Durham's coming on. And then, of course, try to get Rashad White the ball a little bit more. And I'm curious to see how Devin White does, back-to-back weeks. Will he come out and play like he's played last game where he looked at Devin White we all were hoping for, or is he gonna pull another can't make his tackles on time, can't cover, all that blah blah blah, crap whatever. And for another thing I must say, man, I love our O-line, man. After watching Luke Gedeke go on being mic'd up, I mean, this man, I'm starting to really feel for him a little bit more, man. He's definitely a baller, man. I like how he gets in the players' heads on the defense side of the ball. That's what I like. I want you to get in their heads and punch them in the mouth at the same time. That's one thing I'd be looking out for. Mostly is the offense, keep on the gas pedal. And if Devin White's going to continue what he did last Sunday.
Yeah, and, I always look forward to the Bucs, and like I said, I'm going to be in the middle of the ocean, so I'm going to be selfish here. The one big thing I'm looking forward to is just either listening or watching the game at any capacity. I love this team so much. I'll be on a vacation, not happy about the date of it, but it is what it is, and I'm going to find any damn way to watch or listen to this Bucs game. I already got internet for the cruise, so I'm excited. Going to be having a good time watching the Bucs in the middle of nowhere, baby. You know what's good? If they win, you booze. If they lose, I'll booze. I don't have much of a choice. And I'll be watching my Penn State participate in the Peach Bowl out there as well. So it'll be an interesting weekend of football, J-Lo, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the oceans in the Caribbean. But you got to do what you got to do. And, I got to take this trip. So I'll be back for the last week of the year, though, for the Carolina week, and I'll be very excited for that. J-Lo, what's your final word, buddy, as we're winding down here on this Wednesday? I lose track of days in this grassy knoll between Christmas and New Year's. It's like, every day kind of feels the same. Let me check. It is Wednesday. Final word on this beautiful edition of the Buccaneers this Wednesday.
It's a great day in Tampa Bay. We're on fire, baby. Like I said, this team is looking like a different team, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs, man. I feel like this team is definitely going to make some noise in the playoffs. And I'm thinking wild card, get past that round, get to divisional, baby. Like I said, follow, like, subscribe, Buccaneers. We love our butts. And
notification bell on.
Yep. Put the notification bell on, man. Come show support to a great group of people on here. We love our Bucs and we root for them, good or bad. At the end of the day, go Bucs.
Yeah, go Bucs. Fire the damn cannons. 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Bucs win. Bucs win. Baker Mayfield, you are ridiculous, MVP. My final word is enjoy it, guys. Enjoy this weekend of football, college football, NFL. We don't have much games left this year. Please, please, please get your ass onto the most local couch you have and just park your ass there tomorrow if you can, Friday if you can, Saturday if you can, Sunday if you can, Monday if you can. We have 5 great days of football in a row. 4 bowl games tomorrow and Thursday night football. 4 great bowl games Friday. 4 great bowl games Saturday, along with the Lions play that day as well. Sunday you have NFL. Then Monday you have all that college ball. Enjoy it, guys, before it's gone, because pretty soon it's going to be February and people would be crying to watch Falcons Jets when that time comes. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been J-Lo, the great J-Lo, I should say. It's been Tampa Tones on the Buccaneers on this beautiful Wednesday, as we'll be back with you tomorrow. Live action here, same place, maybe the same time. J-Lo and I, and maybe some of the other crew, Cats, Bucko, Huncho, or Stunna, we're going to be going over giveaways, score predictions, player of the game predictions, college bowl mania, and so much more here on the Buccaneers. Because remember, we are a Bucs podcast, but we like to talk our sports, and that's exactly what we'll do. And sadly, we might have to hopefully hear a little more about Wander and maybe dig into that a little bit tomorrow as well. But we'll see where that goes, J-Lo. On behalf of you, my friend, I hope you have an enjoyable Wednesday night. 3, 2, 1, fire the damn cannons, go Bucs. Hi to you and your family, J-Lo. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and tell your daughters I said hello. They are great, young, gorgeous daughters. So they're the best and youngest Buccaneers of the group. So take it easy, brother. Love you, my man, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Love you too, man. Have a good night. Thank you for all you do, Tones. You say you're a good man, and I enjoy, talking football with you, brother. Go Bucs.
Yeah, you're a great guy too, brother, and I'm sure we'll be texting tonight, but we'll actually be seeing you tomorrow, and we'll be talking, bro. Remember, Bucs fans, stay up, fire the damn cannons. J-Lo and Tones out of the building, and the Buccaneers will be back here tomorrow night. We can't wait. See y'all. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs, baby.
Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Beat Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little